Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahmed Nawaz. Mondays once again, and exciting as always. Weekend has given us a lot to talk about, especially the fact that we'll be starting off with cricket in detail, and it had to be Pakistan up against New Zealand, the second test match in Christchurch. Good to see Pakistan batted well, 297 in their first innings all out. Then, of course, picking up three crucial wickets by the lunch break, and of course after lunch as well. But the fact is that New Zealand now are in a commanding position. The newly crowned #1 batsman in the world for Test cricket, Kane Williamson, putting on 112, making New Zealand reach 286 for 3 when stumps were drawn. New Zealand, of course, still trailed by a couple of runs. And the fact is that it wasn't just Williamson. He's, of course, great. But I think getting Henry Nicholls to score these amount of runs truly says a lot about our bowling that we're carrying, because we're known for our bowling strength. We've talked about this a lot, but doesn't seem to be there. In Test cricket, you need that aggression, you need that firepower. I keep on comparing our guys with the young talent that India has. People don't like that, but the fact is that at least they show some aggression. Guys like Siraj, guys like Hardik Pandya, of course, they're another breed of cricketers, but they're showing us some great talent, and that's what we've got to appreciate. So far, our bowling has been really, really amateur. We've been carrying Naseem Shah, who I think is not ready for Test cricket. Mohammad Abbas, just not there. Fahim Ashraf, yes, to some extent. Shaheen Shah Afridi, of course, is a class apart. So definitely, somebody said the other day, and I'll agree, that after Wasim Waqar and Shoaib Akhtar, we haven't seen an aggressive fast bowler from Pakistan. That truly hasn't been the case. I think Mohammad Asif was a magician, got the ball to talk. That was another thing. Mohammad Amir, Wahab Riaz, career on and off. But no such thing that we're seeing somebody who could lead this pace attack. Abbas is a kind of a medium pace bowler. So we've got to talk all about this, and we'll be talking about this with our guests as well. After that, we'll be moving on to the Qaid-e-Azam Trophy 2020-21. The season, of course, in the finale, the final being played at the National Stadium in Karachi, with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa up against defending champion Central Punjab. And Central Punjab's batting was underway when the stumps were drawn. There were 140 for 2. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa had set a target of 356 runs as day 4 came to an end. So another day that Central Punjab need to survive for, but looks like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa have an upper hand. After that, we've also got to discuss somebody in the record books. It's Kamran Ghulam, who has made his way into the record books, breaking a 37-year-old record of becoming the leading run scorer in a season of the Qaid-e-Azam Trophy. More than 1,200 runs this season. He has broken a 37-year record. We'll be talking all about that as well. A lot to discuss in cricket. Pakistan, New Zealand at the top of the table, and I had to get on show somebody who loves Test cricket equally as I do, probably more than me, I'd had to agree, but she is the woman to go to if you want to talk about cricket, if you want to talk about all these hits and bits. Of course, the first female commentator, does a lot for cricket. She's somebody who literally lives, eats and breathes cricket herself as well. None other than cricket commentator and expert, Leena Aziz. Assalamu alaikum, Leena. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum salam, Ahmed. Thank you very much for the fabulous introduction, and I hope you guys are well.
Well, indeed, but a bit disappointing, you know, getting up at 3 a.m., tuning into the test match, getting 3 wickets. What a great adrenaline rush. But after that, it's just boring all over again. Your thoughts?
Absolutely, you know, same here. I mean, I got up and I have been getting up from years and years, you know, these awkward timings, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And once your team gets a reasonable amount of runs on the board, you're expecting your bowling side to get, at least get 6 or 7 wickets, you know, by the close of play. Or put the opposition under pressure. You rightly said that Pakistani bowling has been very fancied during the last 3-4 decades. It's commonly known that the Pakistani side is based on its bowling prowess and its great bowlers. But now the case is, totally. We have a medium pacer in Abbas who's found out by the opposition. I had just 15 minutes ago, I had a really good discussion with someone who understands cricket probably as much as I do or you do or me, you know, or works very closely with these cricketers and cricket matches. And he said that Abbas does not like bounce on tracks like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. So he basically likes, you know, low and slow pitches like UAE or Pakistan or maybe England where there's some reverse swing. So there you go, one bowler who bowls 125. Who bowls 125 these days? I mean, this is the time where people are looking for pacers, you named Siraj and these Shamis and Bumrahs and Stainis and all these guys who are bowling at 140 plus. And here we have a bowler who bowls 125. Fine, he's done really well. He's taken a lot of wickets. His average is fantastic. But on certain wickets, he's not someone who should be playing in New Zealand or South Africa, Australia. We should have someone like Wahab Riaz who bangs the ball in, gets bounced, has pace. And then we have a very, monotone, boring attack, Ahmed. We have Fahim Ashraf who bowls similar plays, a little higher than Abbas. And then we have Shaheen Shah, who's our main bowler, and all the pressure is on him. And then we have Naseem, who's very young and raw. He's not, he doesn't take wickets regularly. He's not even bowling full pace. I don't know why. And we don't also have a match-winning spinner like we used to have in, say, Saqlain Mushtaq or Iqbal Qasim or Syed Ajmal. Look at what India is doing. They have Ashwin who bowls day one and picks up wickets on those tracks, similar tracks as New Zealand, but he has the ability to pick up wickets. Our attack is, it's unable to take wickets, and we're largely dependent on 120-year-old, which is Shaheen, which is rather sad. And then we carry people like Sohail and don't play them. He's also 36 years old. We need to, from the first class structure, wherever it is, we need to produce wicket-taking bowlers with good pace, and we need to invest in an academy like the Indians did, the MRS Pace Academy. They invested like 20, 30 years ago, and look at the results now. So it's going to take time, but we need to invest in a Pace Academy where all the good pacers of the past should come and train the youngsters, and from there we will start getting good pacers. So, we've got and we keep dropping catches. We don't have a great attack. It's not able to get a side out for, say, 250. And then on top of that, we bowled no balls and dropped catches, and Rizwan dropped a sitter today. The thing is, we've been talking about what a gun keeper he is. But if he drops sitters like this, very soon we'll be saying the opposite thing. So we don't want that, and we don't want such catches drop. And we give chances on no balls. So the attack hasn't done well. It's not attack where if you have a discussion, we'd say with confidence, that tomorrow our bowlers will come and get the New Zealand side out for 250. No, I don't think that's happening.
Well, Leena, we keep on waiting for miracles, but I think you hit the nail right on its head as well about the fast bowlers that need to come up. I think it's been too much of a debate that we keep on talking about the structure, but the fact is that we've been hearing since a long time this young battery of bowlers, The fact is that we don't have a bowler who can actually play test cricket and set a batsman up. We had Junaid Khan for a brief period, Rahat Ali was there, guys who looked like test bowlers at least, could touch 135, 140. You just pointed out who bowls at 125. I think Shabnam Majid, who bowls plays for South Africa, bowls 125. They've got to actually consider these facts. It's embarrassing. So the fact is that if we keep on selecting fast bowlers from the PSL, then we might as well say goodbye to test cricket.
Exactly, Ahmed. I totally have to agree with you. We will have to put our faith in the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy, like the Indians put their faith in Ranji Trophy, and get test bowlers from there. People who bowl in 4-day cricket, people who can bowl 20-25 overs in a day at good pace, 135, 140. And what happens is that when the PSL is happening, Ahmed, all of us seem to be so we're taken aback, not taken aback, but we're just so full of PSL that we're only thinking about PSL and this boy is very nice, and then you have to understand that PSL guys are only bowling 4 overs. And here in test matches, you have to bowl 20 overs, sometimes 25 overs in a day. So we have to pick up those guys from the Quaid-e-Azam Trophy who have the stamina and who have like 2-3 seasons under their belt of 4-day cricket seasons, and not just one season, 3-4 seasons. And you have been pointing out very rightly that Naseem Shah needs to go to Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. He's only 17. He can come back when he's...
what's the mindset? What's the mindset that we're carrying? Because you've seen Pakistan cricket up very close. You've been following this structure. You've been seeing different managements and coaches on and off. I mean, the mindset that we have is that we think we can cherry pick an under-19 cricketer, put him into Test cricket, and straight away he would become the next Wasim Akram or Brett Lee or somebody like Jimmy Anderson. What is our mindset? Because the fact is, you look at Australia, you look at England. Have you ever seen a 17, 18-year boy coming towards Test cricket and performing? They mature him first on the domestic structure.
Absolutely. I mean, they never bring anyone less than 22, and even then, that 22-year-old young man has to be a great talent. And, that really happens there. They make them play their domestic cricket and years after years. And then when the bowler matures, he has 3-4 seasons under his belt. Then they ask him, we are still, sitting in the era where Javed Miyazad or Imran Khan would go to the nets and he would see a bowler and say, oh yeah, let's get this bowler in and straight away into Test cricket. Those were different times. These are different times. You have to work hard on your line, your length. You have to work at the batsman. You have to be able to bowl long spells. Wickets are different. The wickets abroad are different. And then you talk about the mindset. There is no mindset. There is no thinking. There is no thinking cap. These guys just go and they just, make a plan for the one match and not for a long-term plan. I mean, tell me something. Why else would so if they don't want to play Sohail Khan, why would they take him on crew tours and not play him? They take people like Shinwari and not play them. They take people like Rahat and people like Junaid Khan and not play them. I mean, they just sit on the benches and they have these plans for this. They built these fairy tales in their mind that this 17-year-old is so fast and he's the new Wasim Akram or the new Shoaib Akhtar. It does not work like that. Those kind of talents don't come every day. And you've seen with Naseem also that his pace has nosedived. Today he is bowling 141, 42. The last match he was continuously bowling between 133 to 137.5. 99% of his balls were there. We even saw a placard where a woman said, why is Naseem Shah bowling spin? I mean, so there is no mindset. I mean, we sent so many coaches, 4 or 5 of these big coaches, and there's no mindset. Look at India. They just only send, their only coach is Ravi Shastri, and their captain is a powerful guy, and those two make the plan.
Absolutely. Now we've also been joined on Sports Extra by former Test cricketer Hassan Raza. Hassan bhai, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hassan bhai, you've been somebody who's probably seen this structure up close than anybody else in Pakistan or abroad right now. You have enjoyed that era where we saw some great fast bowlers. My question to you has to be one that the entire Pakistan cricketing fraternity wants to know. Where are our fast bowlers?
That's a problem in the last 5 or 10 years. Probably like we don't have a team like Waqar Yunus, Wasim Akram, Aqib Javed kind of combination in after 1992 World Cup. But recently they're upcoming guys. They're produced from PSL like Naseem Shah or like Hasnan. They don't have experience like conditions from New Zealand, conditions from Australia. They need to be must play for longer cricketer in domestic cricket here in Pakistan. Took 300 wickets, 200 wickets. Then they have improved to the top level in Pakistan. You can see like Tim Saudi, he marvelly great bowling in absolutely 300 wickets, top wicket taker in the New Zealand cricket team. And also, obviously, Vittori also left arm spinner. He is a top ranking and top bowler as well. So we're looking forward to, like Wakarius was there with the Pakistan team. They must give it a good experience for the fast bowlers, but we don't have a produced nice good bowlers like Mohammad Amir. He's also retired from the Test cricket as well. So we have plenty of bowlers like Junaid Khan and Raat, but they don't have a team from good players from the top level in New Zealand or Australia.
Hassan bhai, where do you think the problem is? Is it because we're selecting bowlers just on the performance of the PSL, or is it that in our domestic structure we are not yet giving more importance to our fast bowlers? We're only focusing on batsmen.
Well, we are focused on the batsmen, like Haider Ali produced from PSL. It's alright. How many matches he played first class? None than about 30, 40 matches in first class. They don't have experience, but they play for cross shot all the time. And we produce some fast bowlers like Hassan I'm talking about, but they don't have experience. So Vakarius was there, he's a legendary master bowler. But we don't, Suhail Khan was there with the team, he's a very good experienced bowler with play for England series, took him out, side matches, good wickets as well. But we never seen like a couple of good fast bowlers, but we have an NC Academy in Lahore. So definitely given to chance and to play for longer cricket in Pakistan domestic, then they have produced some good cricket, good fast bowlers in Pakistan. But they have an academy over there, NC Academy in Lahore. Definitely lots of coaches was there. So we have a camp, get the camp from 1 month, 2 months for the fast bowlers. Lots of experience in Pakistan, any place like Lahore and Karachi. So we must looking forward to good experience for the fast bowlers in coming future.
True indeed as well. Hassan bhai, you think that in the near future we won't see something like that? Because the fact is that we still remember when we were very young, we used to see talent hunt programs for fast bowlers as well. Specific talent hunt programs that targeted fast bowlers throughout Pakistan. Speed guns were put in place to see who could bowl the quickest, but no such activity happening now.
Yeah, that's why we need to some camping, like if you seen 97, 98 Imran Khan camping Pepsi cricket clinic, fastest bowlers in the produce, like Syed he used to play for HBL cricket team. Kabir Khan, there's lots of players. Sadi Shah used to 400 wickets in domestic. So many bowlers produced from the domestic cricket structure here. But they are focused on T20 only. That's why they don't have experience. Like Hasnan, a couple of play for PSL matches. Naseem Shah, he played a couple of PSL matches. He never like bowled out from the cabin. They are New Zealand bowlers or New Zealand batting. They're already playing for machine cricket. Bowling machine speed 143, 140. Easily they pick up the ball. Short of length ball. They play for drive as well. So they need to be reversing. They don't have any scene. I've never seen from reverse swing for any kind of bowler like Rana Naveed, like Sheikh Akhtar, like Vakar. They only use the pace and short of length balls all the time. So they have a trouble in Pakistan cricket in fast bowling.
Definitely. And Hassan bhai, finally, I must ask you now, the position that New Zealand are in right now, they still have 7 wickets in hand. Do you see any chances for Pakistan, or do you think it's going to be a clean sweep for New Zealand?
I don't think so. That they had very good drafting in the fielding and bowling. New Zealand Kiwis, they have a completely worked out their life last 2 months. We have 45 days. 45 people was there in New Zealand, but it doesn't work out like a professional approach. So Kevin Peterson and they are all playing from very good, like Kiwis, the captains. So let's see. They have experience. They need to be more experienced from this test match, plus this final test match. Injury with the Babar Azam, with some of the players. But let's see how they're going to win the matches.
Definitely indeed. Thank you so much, Hassan bhai, for talking to us here at Sports Extra. That was Hassan Raza, former Test cricketer, talking to us at Sports Extra. Leena, coming back to you, disappointment is going to be there because we're absolutely fanatic, we're crazy cricket fans, especially when it comes to Test cricket. There's a reason why Australia against England, the Ashes, is so close to our hearts. There's a reason why India's tour to Australia is so exciting for us. It doesn't look like the case over here as well. Coming back to the domestic structure, Quaid-e-Azam Trophy is now being given a lot of importance. We understand that. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening on that stage as well. But do you honestly believe that with the management that is with the Pakistani team right now, I'm talking about the coaching staff in particular, we can probably see a focus on fast bowlers?
Especially places like, Australia, New Zealand, England, these places, South Africa, you need your fast bowlers to fire. And for that, they should be ready. They should be ready to bowl in those places. One of the things that could do better, and we have been talking about that, is that they should, produce those kind of bouncy pitches at the domestic level in Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. There should be 3 or 4 bouncy tracks where our batsmen learn to play on bouncy tracks, and our bowlers also get to bowl on them, and they would know what's the right length to bowl on those pitches, when to bowl a bouncer, what is the right length for a bouncer. The only time I saw a good bouncer, Ahmed, was yesterday or this morning at Williamson. Shaheen bowled one bouncer, which was an excellent bouncer. Other than that, I haven't seen a good bouncer in the entire series. by the Pakistani bowlers. And look at Jameson. He bowled so many bounces because these chaps are used to their own conditions, their own tracks. So
do you think the temperament isn't there? Do you believe the temperament isn't there? Because Wasim Akram used to say that there is no reason for a left-arm fast bowler to come round the wicket instead of over the wicket unless something very bad is happening. He said it's a negative approach most of the times. But the fact is that after bowling just a couple of overs, one or two, our bowlers get so much frustrated that they start coming from round the wicket trying to create a miracle. So they just want a wicket on every delivery. In fact, on the other hand, Test cricket, we've always said, is something about temperament, not just for the batsman, but for the bowler as well.
I agree with you. I mean, we built in these domestic matches, the 4-day games, you bowl over after over. Hassan was also just saying that when you play 3 or 4 seasons, you sort of, there's a word in Urdu, you become a pakka cricketer. So when you become a pakka cricketer, you become battle hardened. You are used to bowling long spells. You spend 3-4 years in domestic, the whole season, 3-4 years. Then you know how to bowl long spells, how to wait for your wickets. Sometimes, I mean, you were talking about setting up a batsman that could take 3-4 overs. You could be bowling in swing after in swing after in swing, getting the batsman to play the in swinger, and suddenly there's an outswinger, and he is totally surprised, and you get the wicket. So setting up a batsman, you learn these tactics and these traits when you're playing domestic cricket and in academies. So there is a need of an academy urgently on the lines of the MRF Academy, which was set up, and Dennis Lilly used to coach there, and Rodney Marsh used to coach them how to wicket keep. So something like that. And then, the temperament with these youngsters, 17 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old, it has to be built and it has to be taught. And it comes from playing 4-day cricket season after season. But also, I mean, there needs to be more flexibility. For instance, Abbas, I mean, he wasn't the bowler to be playing on these tracks. I mean, I just told you beginning of the program that I spoke to someone who knows cricket probably as much as we do, Mazhar. And he told me that, he's not happy or not comfortable bowling on bouncy tracks. So if the bowler himself is not comfortable, why play him? If you've taken Sohail Khan, he's experienced in this, probably he's 36 years old, 1 or 2 seasons for him, why not play him? And our whole attack is all, same. There is no variety. 130 bowler and then 2 bowlers, 145, 40, 45. But there's no variety. I mean, there's not someone who'd come and show some aggression. And I don't see how, I mean, other than when there's reverse swing, I don't see how Abbas is going to be succeeding with the 125 Ks. So yes, we need to produce bowlers. We need to work harder at our domestic cricket. And the way to do that is to produce all kind of pitches. The swing pitch where there's swing, where there's spin, batting friendly pitches, and the bouncy tracks. And if that's done, then maybe a few years later we will start getting good fast bowlers again. Like Shahid Nazir was a wonderful bowler. Hassan just spoke about him, but he didn't play for Pakistan too much. He was wasted. There's so many bowlers who've been taking, topping the seasons, yet they haven't played for Pakistan. So Pakistan's now got to trust their first-class cricket and pick up players from there.
Right, indeed as well. Leena Aziz, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. It is always a pleasure having Leena on the show. Right, that was our segment talking about Pakistan up against New Zealand. Of course, Test match still has a lot of days to go, but definitely New Zealand looks in complete control. We'll just go towards a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing the Kaiser Trophy in detail.